Here's a question that often comes up. So you want to add an overlay to your Ecamm video production, but you want that overlay to have sound. Say you have a video clip that you want to play, you don't want to play it full screen, you want to play it in the window, or you want to do like a interaction pop-up, something like I'm going to make today, and you want that to have a sound. Traditionally, when you drag these things in the Ecamm, it says that we could add the overlay, but the overlay cannot add audio. And that's because traditionally you'll see them as either MOV or MP4 files. And there's just something about the way that works that doesn't work. So I'm going to show you how to do it, how you can make these. Now I'm going to use Final Cut today. You can use DaVinci, Canva, Adobe Express, however you make it. Matter of fact, some people even make them in Keynote. But either way, I'll show you what you need to do in order to get this to absolutely work. So what we're going to do is pop over into Final Cut real quick. Now, I've already put something together in the timeline because, well, I don't want to spend too much time showing you how to make this part. This part you can kind of figure out on your own. So all I did was I wanted to do a subscribe button. So I have a subscribe button and I've added some audio clips. And if it were to play properly, it should look sort of like this. It's not exactly perfect. I mean, it kind of works. It's not as perfect as I would want it to be, but you know what? Perfect, I mean, done is better than perfect. So let me just slide this back just a little wee second because, of course, I can't help but trip on it. Let's check it one more time, and I'll show you how to kick this out. And that's a little abrupt, but whatever. We'll deal with it for now. So all I want to do, first of all, is let me take you into preferences because you see that my background is black. It's not really black. It's actually transparent. So if I go into preferences here, I can switch this to checkerboard, and that's how I know that it's absolutely transparent. Now, I'm not going to mess with anything else because it's more about the rendering that matters to this. So what we want to do is click on where it says overlays and then click on project properties. Under project properties, we want to press modify. And here inside of the modification, we want to make sure that the file type is 4K is fine. That's kind of big, but it doesn't matter. You want this to be Apple ProRes 444. Apple ProRes 444. That's the key ingredient. So you're going to click on that, and then you're going to press OK. Now we're good. So next thing we want to do is get ready to output our file. So we're going to go share, and we want to export the file. And again, you want to make sure that you click on settings, and you want to have video and audio, and you want that source to be Apple ProRes 444. That is the most important situation in this entire thing. Then we're going to go ahead and say next, and it's going to spit out the file. I don't know if you saw that, but this sucker is going to be a 1 gigabyte file, but that's okay for today's setup because we're going to see what we're going to do once we get there. So while that file is rendering, I'm going to tell you what you're going to need to do in order to get this work. You want to go to your browser and you want to download this program here. And this program is called Shutter Encoder. Shutter Encoder is a free program. And then we'll get to that in just 1 second. So if I was to come over here to Ecamm and grab that file that we just created, let's go into demo mode so you can see what we do. If I was to grab this file and go to just drop it in, it will take over the screen. And it's going to say, do you want to add as an animated overlay or do you want to play this as a, full screen? So we want to say add it as an animated overlay. And then when it goes to play, look, no sound because that's just the way it works. But here we're going to fix that. So let's go ahead and get rid of this one and I will delete it out of Ecamm for a second. And then we're going to jump over to Shutter Encoder. So here we are at Shutter Encoder. I'm going to drag this file into Shutter Encoder. Then I want to click on choose function. You're going to get this really long list and it is a little hard to see, but scroll down to where it says VP9, Victor Papa 9, right? And then once you do that, everything else is completely irrelevant, but you do want to make sure that the ending says WebM. That's kind of important. And then we're going to come over here and we want to go to advanced settings and we want to go to advanced features. Click that. And we want to make sure that we have enable alpha channel. That is really all you need to do. Everything else, completely up to you, but that is the most important part of this situation. So with this in mind, all we need to do is come back to the opposite side and press on start function. And it's going to take a second to render this file because it's such a small file. It should be relatively quick. on this machine. This is an M1 Max Studio. If it takes more than a minute or two, just let it go. It'll do its thing. It is finished. And now we'll come back over to myself and then let's bring you back in live demo mode. I can now take this webm and just drop it in. See, that works. That absolutely works. So then what I would want to do, of course, is move the slider to where I can kind of see something here, pick it up and move it into position. Of course, you can grab the sides of it and bring it in so it doesn't take up the whole screen. And I'll do this again on this side because I don't really need too much. It's about yo big. And then I will place it up here in the corner where it can be seen better. Let's do it about right here. And then, of course, I like to click on the little triangle and say hide and stay hidden. And that way I could put it on the Stream Deck button. So that way when it's done, it'll go away. But when I go to play it, it'll look like this. That is it. That is it. So if you are wanting to make these guys, again, the most important, let's fix that. So if you're wanting to make overlays that have sound, the most important thing is that you take the file and make it, if you want transparency, has to be Apple ProRes 444. If you don't need a transparency, then it doesn't really matter whether you press that or not. Your main thing from there is going to be to convert it to WebM. Let's do that one real quick just to make sure that we get you where you go. So we're going to bring you over to Shutter Encoder, and I'll do something like just take a short video because maybe I want to do sort of a reaction video. So I'm going to take a short video that I just made and I'm going to drag it into here. Now, this is a standard issue vertical video short. Again, you want to make sure that you're on VP9 and you want to make sure that you're on WebM. Bingo. I can turn off alpha channel for this. It doesn't matter. All I really need to do in this case is just convert it to WebM. One thing that I do often do just to keep them small is I click on this VBR and make it till it goes to CQ. For CQ, I normally set it to like 23. Everything else can be the same. I will jack the audio up to like 320, and that just makes the audio sound better. For this, it's probably not that big a deal. But what CQ will do is give you a constant quality, and 23 means the higher the number, the higher the quality, the lower the number, the worse the quality. And somewhere, just from experience, somewhere around 18 to 25 is good. I select 23 because, well, that's in the middle, right? And then we're just going to take that and again, just press start function. This is a really short clip. So do I want to overwrite this? Oh, no, I don't want to do the first one. Hold on. Let me cancel this. I didn't get rid of the first file, so it's trying to create it again. So let me delete this one. And then we just want the second one. Okay, so let me hit start function. And what that does is it shows you that it can do like a bunch in a row. So if you're setting up something for a live stream, you got a bunch of clips that you want to do because you're making a reaction video, just throw them all in here at one time, convert them to WebM, and then you will be able to use them as an overlay with sound. Now, again, says it's doing it at 24, 25 frames per second, and that's because this is a full video, so it takes a little bit longer, and I'm also compressing it. Oh, yes, and by the way, if you remember correctly, I stated that that overlay that we made for the subscribe button, that was like a 1 gig file. It's kind of massive, right? For a particular type of production, live stream, webinar, whatever. The WebM file that I generated, it says that it's 3 megs. So we went from a 1 gig file down to a 3 megabyte file just from converting it to WebM. I have a whole video on how to convert your videos to WebM just so that they save space on your hard drive. And I'll link that in the description so you can see that. It's a very similar process. So let's go over here and pop back over to my icon, and I'll bring myself to here, and I will grab this video and drag it in. And again, I can drop it here. I like to just put it directly in the overlays panel. And yes, it feels painful. And yes, it sucks. And yes. And so if I were doing a reaction video where I wanted to react to this short, I could just make it like this and then set myself up. I'm able to play, pause, stop. You know, if I wanted to go ahead and give it a try again. I know you can't help but compare yourself. We tell you to stop it. Fantastic, right? Fantastic. So if I bring this out again and you're looking at what it looks like full screen, And because it's an overlay, I can move it wherever I want. I can put it on this side. Maybe I want to do more than one because, again, you can batch create these. I can have another one on the opposite side and sort of play back and forth and see which one of these versions you like better. But there's many reasons why you want to have an overlay that has sound in the video. And now you know all you need to do is get Shutter Encoder. So once again, go to your browser, grab Shutter Encoder, download that sucker to your computer. It installs in a matter of seconds. It is free. It is donationware. I highly recommend you make a donation because that's how Paul makes his money. He's a really good guy. He's been helping us out for years. Once you have that set up, you're going to open Shutter Encoder. I swear I speak English. And you're just going to take whatever file that you have. You're going to drop it in here. And then again, select VP9 WebM. Come over to the side. And again, for bit rate, it comes out, it says VBR. You want to change it to CQ, somewhere between, say, 18 and 25. And then, in this particular case, just run it. If you need it to be transparent, make sure you roll down advanced features and click on Enable Alpha Channel. Start that function, and you are ready to rock. That, my friends, is how you can make overlays that have sound for your Ecamm live productions. And again, make sure you go and check out this Shutter Encoder. And if you like the software in any way, shape, or form, please donate to Paul so that we can keep this guy going. There's other conversion softwares out there that you could do this on the web. I personally do not trust any of the web versions because they tend to use trackers to grab some of your personal information because they say that it's free. It's not really free. I don't know who need to hear this, but if it was you, let me know in the comment section below. If you like this video, press the like button, press the subscribe button, ring the notification bell so you never miss another one of these videos. And right about now, the algorithm is going to show you another video they think you should watch, and I agree with them.
I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George, I hop in the Porsche, 5 and a horse, I'm ready for war, I'm coming for throats, to turn to a ghost, I need to know everything. Now you be surprised at the info you get is by letting them talk, so I'm letting them talk. Gotta keep quiet, maneuver in silence to let them in talk.